Yay, okay, welcome, 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 welcome. So if you are just joining us, we are going ahead and typing into the chat where we are from, where in the world we are coming. We're coming to this presentation from. So go ahead and type it into the chat. And if someone wants to let me know if they can actually see me, that would be ideal. I can't tell if I am indeed on the screen. Hey Gina. Yep, we see you. Awesome, Gina. Thank you. Gina is from Summit. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and wait just another couple minutes here to see if anyone else pops in. Um, Great. And as we're waiting, I want to make sure that you guys have your notepads, notebooks, computers, whatever you're going to type on, because this is going to be educational. So we're going to learn a lot today. So go ahead and get your notepads, notebooks, all of those good things. And let me just check. It looks like there may be some issues with joining. Let's see. Guys, just bear with me a minute. Always the tech stuff. Always the tech stuff. There may People may have a couple issues coming into the space. So we will just take a moment or two. Thank you for your patience. Okay. Let's just see here what is going on. Okay. Okay. If we can't figure out the tech, then we are just going to get started. Um, Great. All right. Okay, so let's wait another minute and then we'll go ahead and get started. There may be a slight tech issue, meaning that there may be people who can't join, which is going to be what it is, because I know the best group is already here. So that's what's up. But we'll just wait another minute to check and see. And if not, then they will get access to the replay. Okay. Great, 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 great. Okay. All right, guys. So, I'm not sure. Maybe there was some sort of glitch in my system. It looks like perhaps an email didn't go out. I don't know. But I think in the spirit of honoring your time, we're going to go ahead and get started, and everyone else will just get the replay, and we will do this another time. So, again, for those of you who are here, huge welcome to you. I am just so excited that you are here today for Do the Scary Fun Thing. Okay. This is, again, a little bit of a different event that I have hosted because I'm going to be sharing a lot of information with you. So get ready to learn. It's going to be super, super, super fun. Okay. So, um, Okay, so we've already kind of talked about where we are tuning in from today. And I know, luckily, I know so many of the beautiful faces here, so I feel like it's our own little powwow, which is great. Um, but here's what I know about, I would say most of you, or I'm assuming that you are working on your business, right? You are offering your amazing services to people, either online or offline, right? Um, or maybe you're thinking about launching a new program, a new offer. You want to put yourself out there, perhaps on social media in a bigger way, but you're like, I'm not sure, right? But at the end of the day, You are someone who has such a huge gift and a real skill and a talent, right? And you want to be able to share it in a bigger way with the world. You want to be able to share it in a bigger way with the world, right? And I know that you get that now is the time. Now is the time to show up, right? For your work, for your voice, for yourself, for that part of you that's like, I know that I want to expand, even if it does feel a little bit freaking scary, even if it does feel scary. So, in the spirit of that, I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you're here. Um, and what we're going to go ahead and do is we are going to minimize distractions. We are going to go ahead and silence our phone, silence our kids. No, I'm just kidding, but I love that joke. Um, sorry, I had to. We're going to go ahead and just kind of like create this space here for you now. You took the time to be here, so let's really dive in and like use this time and space together, okay? Okay. At the back end of this training, I am going to be sharing about ACT Mastermind Group, which is a group of currently women. We've had various versions of it. And it's so near and dear to my heart. And basically, it's where you get support to do the scary, fun things. Structure, community as you grow in your business and in your mindset. Okay. So I just wanted to make you all like aware of that at the beginning of the training. Like you're going to get value here no matter what, but if something clicks for you here and you want to like take it further, I want you to know where to go, which is why I'm sharing that about the group. Okay. So my name is Aaliyah. Um, and I am a professional certified life coach. I am an author of How to Win with Willpower, and I'm a former social worker. And I have been doing this work for like the past 10 years. Um, and really, what I do is I work with people who are creatives, coaches, perhaps like super high achievers. And what they want to do is they want to let go of the parts of themselves that are holding them back from what it is that they really want. Okay. Such as the parts that are hesitating, the parts that are stuck, the parts that are people pleasing or over giving, right? So that they can have the life and the business that they really dream of, that they really, really dream of. And the reason this is such a passion for me is because I truly know what it feels like to feel the pain. Oh, gosh, to feel the pain of knowing that you can do more and you can go further, and there's something holding you back, right? Like, I deeply know that pain of feeling held back by fear, of feeling held back by the perfectionism. I put both my hands up for that one. People pleasing. What a frustration. And this is why I do this work. So we no longer have to sit in this. And that's how important this is. Okay. So it's really my mission to help others move through it. Okay. So I will be sharing more about me a little bit as we go along. But what I want to know from you is what's the project, message, or next bold step that you are feeling pulled toward? What's the project, message, or next bold step that you are feeling pulled towards? So maybe you're like, I'm just about to like launch my website, or maybe you're like changing your niche and you're like, I have this new program that I'm offering, right? Or maybe you're like, I'm saying no to a collaboration that I've been part of for a while because I don't feel like I'm being, valued in this collaboration. Whatever the thing is, go ahead and type it into the chat. What are you doing? Why are you here? What is up? Go ahead and type it into the chat. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and wait for people to do the brave, scary thing. Why are you here? What are you creating? Who is going to benefit from your amazing creation? What is occurring for you? Go ahead and type it in. Or it can be just be something you're like noodling on. You're like, I think I'm doing this. Okay, let's see. Kristen, I'm starting a podcast. Yes, Raising Minds podcast, Women's Wellness Retreat. Okay, Kristen, I feel like you and you need to. I need to connect you with a few people based on what you're saying. I'm hosting a Women's Wellness Retreat at the end of June. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Shinny, organizing small group travel experiences, food, wellness, family. Yes. Gina, a new project program that I can sell and replicate at scale and make money, but I need to get it going and not give up. Gina, you are in the right place. I love it. Victoria, pitching virtual coaching sessions to an audience in Westchester. Interesting. I'm so curious to hear more, and that's awesome. Abby, leaving corporate America and getting into interior design. And I know you're so amazing at that. Rachel, it's time for me to start taking my book seriously. And I have a lot of fear around setting boundaries socially and prioritizing time to write. Thank you all for your bravery and your just sharing it here, just sharing it, because the fact that you put it down and said it, really signifies this is important. And I'm like, I'm getting it out there in the world, even if it's just here, right? Let's do it. Great. Okay, awesome. So now that we wrote that down, um, is there a part of you that has been waiting, hesitating, or staying a little bit hidden? Is there a part of you that's been waiting, hesitating, or staying a little hidden, right? Maybe you're showing up, but you're not showing up like all the way. Like, do you guys know what I mean when you're like, I'm giving, like when you're giving 75%, that extra 25% like nags at you. It's like, but you're not giving me too, right? Like, we feel that we can go further. So, okay, if you feel me on this, like maybe there's some sort of wall between like you and actioning this bigger move. If you feel that, let's go ahead and just put a one into the chat. And I'm going to put a one because I have so been there where I'm like, why can't I just do the thing? Yes, I see a lot of ones coming in. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. So, okay. Yes. Okay. So here's what I want to let you know. Okay. If you have been feeling stuck, right? Or holding back or second guessing yourself, very normal, natural human feelings. But my commitment to you is this, okay? My commitment to you and really my hope and the space that I want to hold for you guys today. And like in a way, it's so amazing who ended up like coming here just because it always is divine, isn't it? I just it's always exactly right. So I just love the group that's here today. And what I am committed to do is help you feel a greater sense of freedom and confidence to start getting out there consistently, right? And share the work, share what's on your heart, share what matters to you, have the hard conversations, start writing the book. Right? Start writing the book. Do the things that are going to actually transform what is holding you back so you can feel confident to move forward and honestly actually have a little fun with it. All right. We're going to like make this fun because this should be fun. This should be fun. Otherwise, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Okay. So that's my commitment to you today. Okay. So now that we know what we're committed to today, let's talk about what's not working and why. What's not working and why. Okay, especially since I'm like pretty familiar with a lot of you here. Um, my knowing is that you're also wise and smart and amazing, right? And like we've learned all the things, listen to all the podcasts, right? There's a knowing of what is supposed to happen and what you're supposed to do, right? Or the boundary you want to set, but we're not doing it. Why? Why don't we do the things that we're supposed to be doing? What's not working? The reason is that there's something deeper getting in the way. And we all know like how to access the strategies and like how to work the algorithms. I mean, maybe I don't know like all of that yet, but we know how to figure out that like strategic stuff. But what I've found for most of the people that I work with over the past 10 years of doing this is most times it really comes down to the mindset. It really comes down to the mindset. And we're going to actually talk about that deeper mindset piece and all of the hidden beliefs that we may be carrying that we don't even realize is holding us back from our potential. Okay. Okay. We're going to do that deep work today. So, first, what we will be doing is we're going to gain clarity and uncover the real reason you've been holding back. And it may not be what you expect or have been thinking in your minds. And we're going to learn how to shift it. And I'm going to share with you guys how I shifted, and it's so fun. Okay. We're going to have a visibility breakthrough that makes showing up in any capacity, right? Conversations, online, offline, feel doable, right? Feel grounded, feel like you. And we are going to leave with one bold, doable step and the courage to take it. Yeah. Yay. Okay. Great. Okay. So stay till the end because we're really going to be exploring all of this. And at the end is where you're going to find this final step that's going to help you take the next action. Okay. And help you have the next breakthrough. So stick with us. Okay. Here's what I want to let you know. Here's what I want to let you know. You are not off track. You are just in a phase. You are just in a phase. What? What does this mean? I feel like you guys are my people, so I can just be my silly self with you, which I am like really enjoying. Okay. So again, after having worked with a lot of entrepreneurs, and being one myself, I started to realize that there's this pattern and there are these four distinct phases that people typically go through on their entrepreneurial journey. Okay. It comes up again and again in the men and women I coach. And often there are specific challenges and desires associated with each phase. Okay. And I know that when we kind of identify where we are, we can have clarity and be like, oh, that's the reason. Oh, okay. Right. And so my hope is in sharing these with you today. You're going to be able to kind of like find yourself in one or maybe more of these, but I'm assuming one's going to feel familiar to you. Okay. So phase one is the invisible expert. The invisible expert. Okay. So the invisible expert is someone who has so much expertise, likely on a specific or a number of topics, right? And they are so gifted, but they are hidden. But they are hidden. Okay. So in this phase, what happens for people is they're likely like writing a lot of notes in their like notes app and they're like, I have the best idea and I'm going to share it with like all my people on social media. But then like that note is like months and months and months old and we never like actually action it, even though it's so, so good. Right. In this phase, a lot of time there's a lot of like content consumption. We're consuming a lot of content and we're really hoping that more prep, like, okay, if I just prep more, then I'm going to be more confident. If I know more, then I'm going to be more confident, right? We may also be downplaying some of the ideas that are like our boldest or our weirdest. I say that in a good way. Like, let's reclaim weird for like awesome, right? Um, because of a fear of being too much, okay? Being too much, being being I'm sorry, too direct or offending someone. So you default to being helpful instead of being true. Instead of being true. Okay. Maybe you tell yourself in the invisible expert phase that I just need to get more organized. But deep down, what this is a fear of being seen. Okay. Fear of being seen. Okay. Phase one is a phase of protection from rejection. Okay. When you're the invisible expert, what's going on underneath? This makes me even just so emotional to consider because I know so many of us who have been there, myself included, right? But what's going on under all of that overthinking, right? All of the rewriting, all of the holding back is this very real fear of being misunderstood, right? And a fear that if we show up before it's perfect, right, it might not land or it might confirm that we're not cut out for this. So we stay in prep mode. Okay. So, um, the reason this happens is usually because somewhere along the way, and usually in childhood, we learned that it is not safe for us to show up unless we have it all together, unless we're ready, right? It isn't safe to show up unprepared. And so, because of that, we make sure we're good still, right? But that's an outdated belief that may and definitely isn't serving so many of the beautiful people who want to share their work with the people who really need it, right? Okay. Um, Invisible expert. Okay. So, how many of you are like, I can relate to this. I can relate to this. If you can relate, go ahead and put a one into the chat. And I'm going to put a one because I deeply know all of these phases very well. Rachel G is like, one. Abby, one plus. Yes. I love the permission here. I love the permission here. Yeah. What a phase to be in. Oh my gosh, what a phase to be in. I want to tell you about and thank you all for bravely sharing. Yeah, this resonates, right? We're human. Okay. So I want to share with you as a case study about my client Momo. My client Momo. So she was the Kristen, I love it. Just went through 4 years of notebooks for my. I love it, Kristen. You are so prepared, girl. You are so prepared. But yes, 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 that's it, right? Um, my client Momo is the co-founder of a company, and when we first started working together, she felt really held back from sharing who she was and sharing her opinions in meetings with the company. And she was kind of like, I'll just say like the visionary of the company, right? She's the one with the deep ideas and the one who, had all of these amazing ideas that she wanted to share, but she felt so held back because she felt that if she shared, her voice may not be understood, her ideas may be shut down, right? They may not get it. And so she just kind of quietly let other people start to make these decisions and she didn't know how to jump in. Okay. So because of this, she started questioning, like, should I even be in this business? Should I even be doing this? Like, I'm not showing up in the way that I want to, right? And what we uncovered is this wasn't a skill gap. This wasn't some sort of skill gap. There was this protection from rejection phase going on. She was protecting herself from being seen. And, she was scared that what if I'm not taken seriously, right? So the more that she stayed quiet, the more that she distanced herself from even believing in her own leadership. So she no longer was associating herself as the leader of this company because of this disconnect. Okay. Okay, so this was really costing her her voice and just even the way that she showed up in her business, right? And so what we did is we started to kind of break apart some of the deeper beliefs that were going on, and we started to, and this is what we're going to be doing later on in the training. Okay, what we started to do is rewrite these beliefs so that she could show up as the person who is the co-founder of this company, right? And so what she ended up feeling like was, I am more of a businesswoman. And that's never an identity that she owned, right? She never really saw herself as that, but she started sharing her voice, started sharing her thoughts, and started actually making an impact in the company because she rewrote that belief that I'm supposed to just be here and watch and be quiet, right? So, this is the type of possibility that we are warming up to when it comes to rewriting these deep rooted beliefs. All right. Okay. And that's what happens when you move through the protection from rejection. All right. No, let's keep going. We're going to keep going into phase two. We're going to keep going into phase two. Okay. Let's just because, yeah, let's go ahead and, oh my goodness. Sorry about that. Let me minimize that. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and just take a group breath because I know we're taking in a lot. Let's go ahead and just take a deep breath in. Oh, and a breath out. The information, right? The things we're learning. Okay, let's talk about phase two. In phase two, we are no longer hidden. We're showing up, right? We've shared the message, we've launched the website, we are out there, we're doing the thing, or we've done the thing. But it is really draining. It's really draining. Or we're not getting the results that we hoped for. Okay. We're not getting the engagement. Maybe we're not creating the clients or the clients who we know would really value this work. The feedback isn't what we want. Right. So when that starts happening, we're like, well, should I even do this? I'm not even sure. Right. And what happens in this phase is our system starts protecting us not from rejection, but from disappointment. Because if we have one foot in and one foot out, right? Okay, let me back up. If we're doing the things, but it's not really working, so we're showing up a little, but then we're like, it's not working, so we stop showing up, right? And we're kind of in and we're kind of out, but then that energy gets really draining, or we have bursts of energy and then we backtrack and it's like two steps forward, one step back, right? And so what happens is because things haven't worked the way that we want, our system is saying those things to us, why bother even showing up if it's not going to land? Or let's just sit this one out, right? Or don't get your hopes up. Jessica, welcome, Jessica. So excited to see you here. Um, okay, so this is that protection from disappointment phase. And what this results in is a loss of trust in yourself, a loss of trust in yourself, right? What you do is you start second guessing. You're like, am I even meant to do this? I don't know. So I want to tell you guys a story about my client, Andy. Okay. Oh my gosh, I just love him. Okay. So Andy came to me after he had just finished coaching school and he was really clear. He was like, I want to get things moving. I want to grow my business. I want to get going, right? And he was really confident in his ability to coach. Um, but what all good, Jessica. No, all good. I'm so happy you're here. Thanks for popping in. Um, so he was really confident in his coaching ability, right? Um, but what he was less confident in was his ability to execute and his ability to do. And he kept thinking he can't stay consistent. And because he felt like he couldn't stay consistent, he just was kind of doing and then kind of not doing, kind of doing and kind of not doing, right? Being there, but not being there. And what ended up happening is again, we looked at a lot of the beliefs that were creating this idea in his head that he had to be half in, half out, and not full in. And why? Right? So he started to realize that he didn't have to wait for this perfect moment to show up, right? This perfect moment when all the stars are aligned and the skies have parted and all of a sudden the sun is shining on you and you're like, yeah. Um, right. But he was like, I can just go and I can just do. And he started seeing himself as more of a doer and more of an executor, right? And how he did that was because of the beliefs that we rewrote, similar to what we're going to do later on in this program. Okay. So we wrote these beliefs about him being able to execute. And what ended up happening is during our time together, he signed 10 absolutely amazing clients who he loved working with. And honestly, this is such a win-win for both him and those clients because he's like just the most amazing coach, right? Um, but more so, more so, he became the person who could trust that he was going to show up consistently, right? So, okay. How many of us can maybe relate to the idea of I am showing up, but girl, it's draining, it's taking a toll. Like sometimes I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out. If that's you, and again, I'm going to put my little one into the chat here because I have been there. We're going to put a one into the chat. Victoria's like, yes. Gina's like, yes. Shinny, Rachel, yes, yes, yes. Jessica, yes, yes. Like so normal, and so draining. Guilty. Guilty. Yes. Okay. So now that we've moved through phase one and phase two, let's go to phase three. What happens next? Okay. So phase three is we're really building something beautiful. We're building something beautiful, but it is heavy. We're building something beautiful, but it's heavy. So at this stage in the game, you have the clients, right? You have the offers, you are delivering, you're doing the thing, but inside it is exhausting, right? You are the one that's in charge of everything. So you're juggling like the marketing, the delivery, the boundaries, right? And you're trying to keep it all afloat. And a lot of times that feels too much. And you're like, I don't know how to slow down. Because if I do, I'm really scared that the whole thing's going to disappear. And so the way that you're moving just feels unsustainable. So here, what's happening is we're actually protecting ourselves from collapse. We're protecting ourselves from collapse, okay? Because our system's holding everything together. I'm in control of everything. I've got to take charge of everything, right? And we're like, if I pause, right, I stop being the one who's holding it all, then everything's going to fall apart. So I'm going to tell you guys a story about my client Michelle. My client Michelle, she's a long-term client, and she came to me somewhat towards she was like kind of mid-career in real estate. And she basically felt like I need to move forward and do things differently, but I don't know how. And she was so great at doing it all, right? And she was like, she didn't know how not to do it all, but doing it all wasn't working anymore because she knew if she kept doing all the things in the business, she wouldn't be able to scale and to grow and to, support more people. So, what ended up happening is we figured out where this I need to be the one in charge of like all of it and making sure that I'm holding it all together came from, where this belief came from, and then how to rewrite it so that she could have more expansiveness and just allowing, right? And like more delegating as opposed to the clenching and this sort of thing. Um, I'm using my body to like describe words, but hopefully you guys know what I'm saying. Okay, so what ended up happening is she really got into manifesting, which was really cool. And she doubled her clientele. She has gone on to just have this really, really successful business in real estate that deeply reflects who she is. And I'm just I'm so proud of her for doing this work. I'm so proud of her. Okay. So now that we have an understanding of what's really happening in all of these phases, right? Like, what do you guys think happens if you're stuck in these phases and don't move forward? What happens? What happens to the business? What happens to you? What's the impact? Anyone feel free to like free form stream of consciousness into the chat. Um, Lots of resentment, give up, give up, burnout. Mm, yes, 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 yes. All of these things, right? So it's likely impacting relationships because, like Gina, with the give up thing, if we are thinking about like maybe even being in the invisible expert phase and all of a sudden we're feeling a lot of self-doubt, what tends to happen is other people mirror that self-doubt that we're giving off, and then like we become a model for self-doubt, and then like that energetic like back and forth does cause people to say, well, I'm not cut out for this, when really we're just stuck in that phase and not realizing it. Ugh, right? The confidence, it chips away at your belief in yourself and it creates this loop, right? It creates this loop that the less I show up and the less momentum I feel, then I start to wonder if I'm meant to do this. Resentment, the lifestyle, and not creating the clients that you want to work with and them not getting the amazing gifts and like all that you have to share, right? So it's really that impact. Okay. So does anyone want to hear about level four? I'm sorry, phase four. Does anyone want to hear about phase four? Quick water break. Um, okay, so phase four, after we've moved out of these three phases, is fully you, fully seen, and it's working. Fully you, fully seen, and it's working. Okay. This is really the vision that we are stepping into. This is where we're saying we're no longer available for the things that have been occurring in phases one, two, and three. We now understand that these beliefs do not work for the person that, right? Like at the beginning of the call, we said, we're ready for this, and we are, right? And these phases no longer work for this person. So this person is no longer here to like hide, right? This person is no longer here to be in and out, like kind of like wishy washy. This person is no longer here to be like holding it all together and they're like the only one and like, don't help me, you know? Oh my gosh, I like the resonance, the resonance. Um, this person is here to be fully seen and fully yourself, right? To get visible and feel safe and good in it. To know that the way you're speaking, your audience is resonating with because you now understand who these people are, right? And you can be yourself and connect with them in that way, right? Fully you, fully seen, and it's finally working. So, this is the fully expressed leader owning her message, raising her rates, and showing up with realness. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story about me. Okay, I'm going to tell you a quick story about me, um, and how I relate to these phases so deeply. So most of you here, like we know each other, right? And this masterclass is certainly not coming from a place of having it all figured out, but it is coming from a place of deeply knowing each of these phases very well and having lived them. Okay. So I'm going to tell you like a little minor story about like a microcosm of some of this for myself. Um, okay. So for a really long time in my business, I had this kind of like false belief that I had to be like super polished and um, very prepared and very businessy in order to succeed in business and in order to be taken seriously. And I had to like have everything right and everything all prepared before I even started anything. So like invisible expert. Um, and I did that. Like I was giving these presentations, I was like connecting with different people, I was networking, I was going on podcasts, I was doing all the things. But you guys, like internally, I did not, it felt really hollow because I felt like I had to be someone else in order to succeed. Like, ugh, I really felt like I had to hide the parts of me that are like fun and playful and sometimes silly, right? Because I didn't think that if I shared those that people would take me seriously as a coach. And you know, I remember there was this one moment that I was going to go on a live video. And before I did the video, I was like rehearsing the thing I wanted to say and thinking about how will this like land with the people that I want to say it to, and do I need to say it like this or how should I say it like that? And I was going through so much mental chatter in my head, and I don't know what it was, but suddenly I just was like, screw it. And I hit like the live button, and I don't even know what the heck I said, but I just shared from my heart. And afterwards, someone wrote me and they said, I'm so emotional right now. This message really reminded me like why I'm running my business. Thank you. And I was so taken by what she said because I realized that if I if I didn't give myself if I didn't give myself that permission, then she wouldn't have it either, right? Um, oh, okay. And thanks, Jessica. And I'm assuming that a lot of you here really get this, right? Because we're not here to hold back. We're not here to hold back. We're here to give ourselves permission. Okay? Okay. Um, let me just dab these tears for a minute. Okay. So, quick study on authenticity. Studies show that when we are more authentic, when we are being real and being truly who we are, people feel it and it actually releases oxytocin in their brain, right? And it forms more trust with you. It forms more trust with you as the speaker, right? So by us taking a stand for our own authenticity, we're actually helping other people. We're helping other people, which means that your permission becomes someone else's possibility. I'm so inspired by that. I'm so inspired by that. Um, so ultimately, I decided that I got to stop with the perfectionism. I got to stop like clenching and holding on so tight. And I have to start creating a space to give myself permission. And we're going to talk about how to do this. This is part of rewriting beliefs. We're going to talk about this, how to give ourselves this permission, okay? Because I want everyone to have access to these tools because they're so important, okay? And the crazy thing is, when this happened, my clients started showing up in a different way. And it wasn't like I said something, but you know how sometimes you feel someone's energy and you're like, oh, yeah, like, and you just kind of get into it. My clients started like doing all of these things because I was no longer stuck in my perfectionism. And because I was showing up differently, I was being more real with the people around me. And because I was doing that, all of a sudden my clients were like setting boundaries and they were like saying no to the person that they didn't want to work with. And they were like sharing the thing that they wanted to share on social media. And they were getting out there in a bigger way because I took that stand, right? So, okay, this is my client, Beth, who I want to share with you. Um, and when we first started working together, she actually was like, she wanted to quit this program. She was like, I'm done. Before we even started. Um, but she didn't end up doing that. We ended up working together, and we ended up figuring out that there were a lot of beliefs. I'm sorry, I should back up. She was starting a coaching business. She was in in the health industry before healthcare, and she was starting a coaching business. And she there were a lot of beliefs keeping her stuck in like, how do I really run this thing and run it in a way that feels good? And what we did is we started giving her permission to be more herself, right? And giving her permission to actually trust that the gifts that she has are valuable. That was a big thing, that she is valuable, that the services she has are valuable. And once that clicked for her, I mean, you can see she had like incredible results. She had really, really incredible results. But that's the power of this work. That really is the power of this work. Okay. So, how do we do this? How do we actually do this? All right. Um, quick water break. Okay. How do we do this? We're going to talk about three shifts that are going to help us implement rewriting these beliefs that we may have that may be holding us back so we can start to get out there in a bigger way. Okay. If you guys are ready, give me a signal. I was going to say do spirit fingers like this, but I can't see you right now. So type a S into the chat for spirit fingers. Type an S. Okay. Okay. We got some people who are ready. Amazing. 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 Okay. S. So let's talk about these shifts. Okay. So shift number one, it is not a readiness problem. It's the sentence that you're believing. It's not a readiness problem. It's the sentence you're believing. Okay. So this is something that I see in many, 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 many of the people I work with. And this is the work I do with myself basically every day as well. Um, So a lot of times it's not that we're not posting because we're not ready. We're not launching the program because we're not ready. We haven't raised our rates because we are like, well, I'm still figuring it out, or I just need a lot more clarity before I go, right? The truth isn't that we're unmotivated or not disciplined. The truth is we have a sentence in our mind that's keeping us small. Okay. So what do I mean by a sentence? A sentence is this quiet, automatic thought that feels very true, but it usually is not true. Okay. So, what this sounds like is, well, I'm not ready to charge that much, or people are already doing this better than me, or no, I need to get more. I'm not organized enough yet. Or if I post that, someone's going to think I'm like way too much, or I'm not good with marketing. I need to prove myself more first. I need to learn more first, right? So these thoughts seem casual, but actually they are running the show. And most of the times we don't even know that they're there. Okay. So, how are thoughts running the show? And I know a lot of you are familiar with this, but I'm just going to say this again or share this for people who aren't. Basically, science shows that the more we think a certain thought, these neural pathways are formed and are built, right? And then that thought, the more we think it, we start to really believe it and it becomes this belief for us, right? Okay, I'm going to tell you guys a really short story about this. So, a while back, I was in a group of women and basically the women in this group like started referring to me as the mom of the group. And I am a mom, right? And like I do love being like nurturing and caring and all of that different kind of stuff. Um but they were like, "Oh, Leah, like you're the mom of the group. You're the mom of the group and whatever." And like it was kind of funny. Um but what happened is I started to actually over identify with it, and I was like, oh yeah, like I'm supposed to show up in this like loving, like nurturing way, and if I don't, like if I don't show up in this like sweet, soft, like way, um, like what I won't be like the person that they're expecting me to be, right? And so I started to believe that like, well, I can't be like a little sassy. I can't be a little edgy. I can't like maybe say something to someone that would actually help them because like what if I'm too direct? Like I'm supposed to be the nurturing mom, right? So like I actually started to kind of shrink these parts of myself without realizing it, right? Um, I started to hold back some of my stronger opinions and I started editing my voice and I started kind of like suppressing the creative ideas that didn't really fit this like mom identity, right? And the truth was that this isn't new for me. You know, this is something I've done my whole life is rise to what I believe others are expecting of me, right? And it's like the good girl, right? Like I shouldn't disrupt, I shouldn't disappoint. You know, I'm the kind of mom who always puts my daughter to bed at night. So if I don't do that because I'm working on something meaningful for work, then I'm a failure, right? Or everything I share should be thoughtful and excellent. And if it's not, then I shouldn't post it, right? Um, so these are limits. These are limits. All of those things that I was telling myself and that just kept like swirling in my head. I need to show up as the mom of the group. I need to, you know, I'm the mom, whatever. All of those things were literally just sentences that I decided to like pay attention to and believe is true, right? But they weren't true. They were limits. And in doing that, I was limiting myself. And not just from like being me, but from other people maybe receiving something that like would be great if I shared something bold, right? Um, so what is the shift? What's the shift? The shift is the longer you live by someone else's sentence, the longer we delay not only our own breakthrough and not only what's next for us, but everyone else's breakthrough around us, right? Okay, we are going to find your sentence. We are going to find your sentence, okay? Okay. So, what I would like you guys to do is I want you to picture for a moment that you're about to do the scary fun thing that you mentioned in the chat before, the thing that you were like, this is what I'm doing. You know, whatever you mentioned, the writing the book, um, podcast, launching the podcast, all those things, go ahead and think about you're about to do that today, in the next minute. Okay. Um, think about that thing that you really, really want to do. Jessica, I know you weren't here. So basically it's your next level thing that you're like, I want to take action on this, but like I'm not sure. Like that next thing that you want to do. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to pause and I want you to consider what is the sentence that comes to your mind and not the sentence that's like, go for it. The sentence that's like, I need to, there's something else I have to do first, or I need to hold back, right? What is the worry thought? So just kind of like take a breath in, okay? And really consider what is that sentence, that thing that is holding you back. All right. And if you are feeling brave, go ahead and put it into the chat. And I want to create some freaking permission here, okay? Because the number of sentences I've had the number of sentences I've seen, right? They are all just sentences, right? They're all just sentences. They are not real. So it's like, I'm not enough. I don't, I don't know enough. I can't do enough. All these things that are not you. What's the point? You're never going to complete it. I'm never going to be accountable. Yeah, they won't get you. You'll overwhelm everyone. I'm not trying to say it to be like mean. I'm saying it like I'm trying to be funny. I don't have enough to offer, right? These are the limiting sentences, okay? These are the limiting beliefs. Will this work? Right. And so when I see something, Gina, like, will this work? Wait, are others already? Do I know? Okay, yes. So the way that you've said that, will this work? Are others doing this? Do I know enough? What do I What do I not know? Will I look stupid? So, yes, these are all it. And with those ones, when we're asking questions, I actually turn it into a statement that I'm believing the statement. So, Gina, with yours, it would be others are already doing this better. I don't know enough. This won't work, right? So, if we're asking the question, it's actually a statement that we're believing. So, I just wanted to put that in if that's helpful. Um, what will they think about me? I don't have enough to offer, right? All of these sentences. Ugh, all of these sentences, yes. Thank you for bravely putting this into the chat too. I just want to really acknowledge everyone because these are so real and we are human and we all have these. So thank you for bravely stepping up here and now. I'm not ready. I don't know enough yet, right? I've put some here that maybe we can connect to as well. And for the sake of time, I'm just going to keep going here. So we've identified our sentence and what I want you to do, now that you know the sentence, you can feel free to screenshot this just so if you want, so you have it later. These are the first two steps. So that any time now that you recognize you're about to do the thing, you can be like, oh, wait, here's the sentence, right? And then you're going to pause and think about what makes you hesitate. Okay. So if you want, just like go ahead and screenshot that. And we're going to move on to step 2. Okay. Okay. If you didn't get it, I'll send it to you guys later. Okay. So that's shift 1. Shift 2. Best news. Best news. Best news. Okay. You don't have to change the sentence. You just have to understand its intention. Okay. Why is the sentence here? Why is it showing up? Okay. So this sentence that we've identified, right, that everyone just shared, I'm not ready yet, I don't have enough yet, oh, Jessica had to drop off, right, all these things, right? This sentence has a purpose, and its purpose is to keep us stuck in one of these 3 phases. This sentence wants to keep us stuck in one of these 3 phases, okay? That's what the sentence wants to do. So this is why change feels so hard, even when we want it, right? Because our brain is wired to keep your identity the same, even if that identity is outdated and even if it's holding you back, right? Because that part of your brain is tied to your sense of self and it sees change as a threat. And so when it says, hey, let's stick to this sentence, right? Let's stick to this sentence. Let's stay here. Let's stay here. Whoops. It's because your brain sees changing and going into the fully expressed leader as a threat. Okay. It's a threat. Your brain is wired to protect this old story. Okay. Okay. So, okay, so short story for you guys. The other night, maybe about 2 weeks ago, my daughter woke up in the middle of the night and she was like screaming, like at the top of her lungs, screaming at the top of her lungs. Okay. And I like ran into her room and my husband was holding her and she was like, I had a nightmare. I had a nightmare. And and she was like crying. And my husband was like, just don't think about it. Just think about something else. Like just think about something else, right? And she was like, I keep thinking about it. And so I ended up, I don't know, I ended up saying to her, I was like, do you want to know what I do when I can't stop thinking about a thought that I don't want to think? And she's like, and I said, I say to myself, you guys are going to laugh, but let's bring it. I say to myself, I know, mind. I know that you're scared. I know you want to keep thinking about this because it feels so important and it feels like we need to worry about this. I know, I get it. And I literally went like this with her. I'm like, I know, mind. I know, mind. You want to keep thinking that scary thought. And I said, if your mind says it, and she's like, but what if I keep thinking it? And I said, I know, mind. You want to keep thinking that scary thought. You guys, it was so cute because she literally was leaning into my husband and she was closing her eyes and she was like, I know mind. I know mind. You want to keep, and she was like whispering it. Anyway, it was so cute. But here's the thing with this, okay? We have to, most of us have a tendency, like my husband did, God bless him, in that moment to try to fix it or try to be like, no, I don't think that. I do not think that thought that's not helping me. No, I can't think that. And we like push it away. We're like, no, right? Here's the problem with that. If we don't address it and hold that sentence and say like, oh, I so get you. I so get how scared you are right now, right? I so get that you're really, really worried, right? So we're almost taking like, let me have, okay, Victoria, right? Like we're almost taking that, I don't know enough. Oh, I know mind. You think you don't know enough. Oh, I know. I know that sentence feels so real. I know, right? And so, what we're doing, and this is scientific, when our brain feels understood, our brain relaxes. Our brain relaxes, right? There is, again, oxytocin, right? So many of us don't want to do this. Like, so many of us don't want to do this because we want to bully ourselves into doing something different, but the bullying doesn't work, right? Studies prove this. Studies prove this. So your fear doesn't need your silencing. It doesn't need your pushing away. Your fear needs your understanding. Your fear needs your understanding. Okay. Okay. If you guys are tracking with this, if you are understanding what I'm saying and you're like, yes, I get it. What I do when I have that sentence, weirdly enough, is I hold it and I say, I know mind, or how, whatever way it sounds for you. That's how it sounds for me. But I know you're so scared. I know you're coming up with these sentences. If you feel me and you're like, okay, this is kind of crazy, but I get it. Um, Go ahead and put a one into the chat. Go ahead and put a one into the chat if you feel me. One. Yeah. One, one, one. You all are feeling me. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. Great, 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 great. Awesome. Okay. So now that we've been through shift one, shift two, we understand its intention. What are we doing next? What are we doing next? Okay. Next is shift three. And shift three is create a new belief that feels attainable. This is a very important part of this, okay? That feels attainable, okay? Here's the mistake that most people make, and I used to make it too, um, a lot. So we probably hear a lot of times, like if we have been doing mindset work, if this is new, this may be a little bit different. But bear with me and like you'll get it as we go along, okay? So we probably heard things like just change your mindset, just go for it, right? But if our brain doesn't believe that and our brain doesn't think that that new thing is possible for us, our brain's going to be like, nice try. Like you are telling me that like we're great at posting on social media, but like you haven't posted for like 2 years. So I don't think so. Right? So we can't just like pick a belief out of the ether and say like, hey, this is going to work. Right? This is where people get stuck. This is where people get stuck. Okay. So, what we do have to do is choose a new thought, a new sentence that our brain actually can be like, yeah, I can get behind that. I can get behind that. That actually does make sense to me. And I could like see leaning into that. Okay. So, what this may look like is even though my mind is scared to share on social media, I'm making this up, right? I'm learning how to lean in one step at a time. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm learning how to lean in one step at a time, right? That's the kind of softer approach. And softness, as we know, is mistaken for like things that don't work. When in fact, offering that kind of kind way of rewriting beliefs is actually what helps us rewrite these beliefs. Okay. So, so Here are some possible new attainable thoughts, sentences that we can choose. Um, oh, no, those are not. Those are the old ones. Here are the new ones, okay? I'm learning to trust that what I know now is enough to begin. Huh. Yeah, I'm learning to trust that what I know now is enough to begin, right? The people I'm meant to work with will value this. I'm open to finding, not everyone will value this, but the people that I'm meant to work with, oh, right? I'm open to finding them, right? Can you even feel that like in your body, just that feeling of like, oh yeah, the people that I'm meant to work with, right? I'm open to finding them, right? So when we do this in a more gentle, easy way, this is what actually creates change. And I've seen it again and again and again and again and again. If we work this is what creates change. So let's go ahead and write our new sentence. Okay. So what I want you guys to think about is, um, what is a sentence that like is a step from that sentence that you're currently believing, the current sentence that's keeping you in that 1, 2, or 3, that doesn't feel so far out there that you're like, I don't believe that, but just feels like a step in the right direction. Okay. How would you rewrite your sentence? And go ahead and put it into the chat. How would you rewrite that sentence? What would you say? What would it look like? What would that sentence be now? So I'll share perhaps like for me, that sentence with the mom thing would be, um, even though I love being loving and nurturing, I allow the bold, sassy parts of me to come out when I feel like it. Kristen, who needs to hear my message today? Who can I support with my tools, strategies, and mindset shifts? Kristen. I love it. I love it. Mm. I'm just Kristen. I'm picturing you like, and I know you do this beautiful work with like parents and kids and like, and your work is so needed, right? Your work's so needed. Who needs to hear this today? Just the ease of that. Who can I support? So easy. Old sentence, Rachel. What's the point? You'll never complete this book. Even I don't believe that, Rachel. I am not trusting your old sentence. New sentence. That's okay. The permission. You don't have to complete it right now. Just writing and working on chapters brings you so much joy. Why not just focus on that? Oh, I love it. I love your first one. I'm learning to trust that I know what I know now is enough to begin. Oh, I love it. Gina, from Will This Work to I have good ideas and I can test. Yes, you do. Good ideas and you can test it out. Um, oh, Ah, yes, Victoria, people are interested. People are interested. People want this. And Abby, have fun and enjoy the journey. P.S. It's easier to be yourself. I'm going to save this chat and just reread these because they bring me so much joy right now. Like how much joy when we really feel into this, it's just easier. It just feels so much easier, right? Okay, so hold on to these sentences. Hold on to these sentences, okay? And what we're going to do right now is we're going to recap. So we have understood a little bit about these phases. Phase 1, invisible expert. Phase 2, showing up, but it's taking a toll. Phase 3, you're building something beautiful, but it's heavy. We understand that our current sentence is keeping us stuck in one of these phases. Our current sentence is keeping us trapped in one of these phases, okay? But then what we did is we wrote a new sentence. We wrote a new sentence. And that new sentence is what is going to move you into fully you, fully seen, and it's finally working. Okay. So that new sentence is your beginning of this journey. Okay. I like want to encourage you after this class to like go write it in like a beautiful, like uh, put it in like a marker, like take your time to like make it look like really pretty and put it on your computer, like, oh, make it nice for yourself, right? Because that's the first, this is the first step, okay, to saying that you're not stuck, okay, in one of these phases that don't work for what you have to bring. You're not stuck. And that sentence is your reminder about where you're headed, okay? That's your reminder about where you're headed. You guys are making me cry. Okay. Okay. We went over our shifts, okay? It's not a readiness problem. It's a sentence you're believing. You don't have to change the sentence yet, right? First, understand its intention. Please be kind to the sentence. Then create a new belief that feels attainable. Whoops. Okay. Oop. All right. You have your new belief. Okay. So now we're going to talk about why you really came here today, why you really showed up today for this masterclass. Okay. And my assumption and my knowing is that there, that part of you that's been hesitating, you're like, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. Like, I'm done holding back. I'm done not letting myself be all of me. I'm done saying that this won't work. I'm done believing a sentence that no longer works, like a sentence that isn't even real. It's just a sentence. Like, I'm done, right? You're here because we want to move into that fully expressed leader. Okay. That's who we are. That's who we are, right? We want to get out there. We want to create the clients. We want to share our services. We want it to work, right? And that's what we want to do. So, as I promised, I want to share a little bit with you about ACT Mastermind. So, ACT is a program, I know some of you know it here. ACT is a program that has had a few different iterations. And it's so near and dear to my heart because this current iteration, what we're going to do with ACT is we're really bringing in this deeper work of rewriting these beliefs together in community. It is so hard to do this alone, okay? So it is so important that whatever the next level it is that you want to get to, you have people with you, okay? You have people with you that are doing the same work that you're doing, that are going to hold you accountable to your bigger vision, right? And that are going to take a stand for you when you're like going back into the hesitation or phases that don't work, that are going to be like, no, no, like here's where we're headed, right? It is so important that you have a community like that. And this is exactly what we're doing in this most new iteration of ACT Mastermind, which is a group coaching and community experience. Okay. So, this is for those of you who want to have those breakthroughs so you can move through what scares you, right? And actually transform that in a way that's like joyful and enlivening and fun. Okay? And fun. Um, Community is like one of the big places where these breakthroughs happen when we're connected to people who are also doing this work, right? Okay. So this is for those of you who are like, I'm ready to stop holding back. I'm ready to stop hesitating. I'm ready to say yes to the scary, fun thing. And I'm ready to actually make it more fun and less scary, right? And that's what the container and the structure, which I'm going to talk about, is primed to do for you, right? Is take it away so it's not as scary and help it be more fun so that you can grow the business. Okay, so that you can put yourself out there, so that you can say yes to the part of yourself that's ready to do this. Okay, this is what we're doing here in this community. Okay, so how I'm going to show up in this community. For those of you who are really ready to do this work, I'm going to meet you there, right? Which means that if you're like, I'm ready, let's go, I'm going to meet you to hold you accountable, right? With the rest of the group to doing the scary, fun things that you say that you want to do. And not in a scary way, in a fun way where we're actually saying no to the old identity that has been holding us back, that's been keeping us stuck in hesitation, in overgiving, in people pleasing, in self doubt, in I'm not sure. And we're rewriting together the new identity of yes, I can. Here's the podcast. Here's the book. Here's the program, right? All of that. That's what we're doing here. Okay. Okay. So, um, this is for you if you are craving more consistency in your content. You want a step-by-step way to start attracting clients who resonate with the message you're putting out and do it in a way that actually feels like you, okay? I hate when it doesn't feel like you. I hate that. So how can you connect with those people in a way that really feels with you, like you? Is ready to stop like fake prepping and being like, wait, I just need like a little more. I'm gonna put my hand up because like, oh my God, have I been there? Wait, I just need to like edit my website, like the font on it until I go do the thing, right? Um, this is where you're saying, I'm no longer playing that game. I'm playing a bigger game for myself, right? And for the people here, because it ends up being like such a fun community, okay? You believe in intuition, most likely, right? You have an intuitive part of you that really does know deep down the steps you need to take, but you need a safe, encouraging space to be able to take those beautiful steps, okay? This is who that is for, all right? Um, this is for the person who's no longer shrinking, but you are rising into the next level. All right. I know I'm like honing this in, but I really want you guys to get like that this is for that new identity. Okay. Okay. So some of you may recognize the amazing Rachel S. I wanted to share a little bit about her. She was feeling like she couldn't focus. She had like a lot going on, feeling like she couldn't focus. She's a parent, she has kids, she's juggling multiple things. Like I know many of you are here too, right? And towards the end of last year, she was like, I just can't like focus and get things moving and get this plan for my business going. And she ended up creating her first 10K month, which was so exciting, so exciting. Because she ended up deciding what she was going to do in her business. She ended up making decisions like the person who she's becoming, not the person who she was, right? The person who she's stepping into, right? And I'm so, so proud of her. I'm so proud of her because she showed up and she really said yes to like doing this work, right? And she ended up like creating these clients, which is just so great for her and them. Um, and I want to share about Ivy, the amazing Ivy. And she really came to me when she didn't know really what to do that would help her grow her business. But she ended up figuring out some of the nuts and bolts of like what things take to get off the ground, not to mention have the courage to dive in. Because she too was holding back a little bit, but she ended up really putting things in motion. And now she's like, she's actually a huge presence in the online space, which is like so awesome for her. Ivy, relationship coach. Okay. So a few more details about this program. If you're like interested, if you're like, yes, I want to do this. This is a 6-month program. There's going to be two 90-minute coaching calls per month. Um, and there's a private community so that you can stay connected, stay in celebration, stay excited, stay, in the community, upholding each other with each other and held accountable to what it is you say you're going to do, right? That's what happens when we're in this community. So private community. There's resources to stay in your belief. So we're going to be rewriting these beliefs and holding us to the higher identity so that you can start having the business that actually works for the new identity that you are creating. Okay. So that you are out there, so that you are like, oh my God, I'm in momentum and I'm no longer in that hesitating space, so that you are the fully expressed leader. Okay. So I am going to share the link where you can apply for this. And I'm doing applications so that we can make sure it's like a awesome cohesive group that's really just going to vibe and just learn more about you and like what it is you want to create in your business, because I'm here to take a stand for that bigger vision that it is that you want. All right. Rachel. Yeah, Rachel's amazing. Amazing, amazing. Okay. So for all of that, the investment is 547 per month. And it's a 6-month commitment. There's a pay in full option that's gives you a bit of a discount. Um, and I wanted to make it really accessible and just like an easy yes for all that you are creating and turning into. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link for this into the chat, 143 ACT, and I hope that this works. Um, and I'm going to send this your way. Let's see if that link actually works. Um, Hopefully it does. If one of you could tell me if you like copy, oh, it doesn't. Thank you, Abby. Okay, so let me um, go to this. You're gonna see this here. Okay, I think this is the right one. Copy of, okay. Let's see here. No, we are not working right now. Copy. Let's see. Paste. Okay, here we go. Does that link work? I think it should. You're probably seeing it here. Let me just make sure this is the right one. I think this is the right one. Yes.
It
Okay.
worked.
It works. Thank you. Thanks, Gina, or whoever just said that. Abby. I couldn't tell the voice. Um, so, okay, I'm just going to go back up here. Okay. So awesome. So we are enrolling now. We're enrolling now. And we're going to start again in June. We're going to start in June and we're kicking things off. All right. We're taking action. We're getting into momentum. We're saying yes to you. So, if you're interested, go ahead and apply so we can have a conversation and actually like talk one on one and hear more about what you're doing. Um, and we will take things to the next level together. Yay! Okay, everyone. Again, I really want to thank you so much. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, Abby, Rachel, Kristen, Shinny, everyone. I'm so, so glad. Victoria, Kristen. I think I named everyone. I'm so glad, Gina. Thank you so, so much for coming. I can't wait to see you guys soon. Oh, love this, love this. Thank you all. Thank you all. Have a
Thank
good
you.
one. See
Bye-bye,
you
everyone.
soon. Bye.